Good day, everyone. Today, we are going to learn about communication in science. From the beginning, we think that humans must have spoken to one another using grunts and laughter. They would give different objects names so they knew what each other wanted. They could warn people if there were dangerous animals, let people know where foods were growing, and tell them about good places to shelter if they were traveling. They would want to tell others about exciting things they had to see during the day and comfort the children who were scared. But they could only tell the people they met these things, and as we know, people have hearts to love those they hadn't met. In the past, people had the same problems. They wanted to leave messages to warn others and tell each other good news. At first, they probably used pebbles, arranging them in certain patterns to tell people things, or they drew pictures with paint. They might have looked a bit like this. A long time ago, around 3300 BC, Sumerians began to make signs using a wedge-shaped tool called a stylus, which is a short stick sharpened into a triangular thing. They mark on wet clay before it dries out and hardens. This system of writing by the Sumerians is called cuneiform. It comes from the Latin word cuneus, which means wedge or wide impressions. Then came the Egyptians. They discovered a plant called papyrus, a reed that grows along the river Nile that they could use to make paper, and made brushes out of plants and ink from soot. Shortly before 3100 BC, they introduced hieroglyphics. The Egyptians carved symbols or pictures to express their ideas and painted them. This system of writing is very difficult to understand. The signs are called hieroglyphs, which means writings of gods. Hieroglyphs were written on papyrus, carved on tombs and temple walls, and used to decorate many objects of cultic and daily use. Years later, in about 1000 BC, the Phoenicians, sailing the Nile River with cargoes of precious stones, copper, tin, silver, and a very special dye known as Tyrian purple from a special shell used for making beautiful indigo clothes, which became popular with the kings and emperors and very in demand in the ancient world. They continuously sailed the seas, exchanging goods and partly imparting some of their cultures. A great and very important change happened during the course of their travel. It is through this intermingling with other cultures that a new system of writing derived from the Egyptians' hieroglyphics. A new system was developed by the Phoenicians and came to be known as one sign, one sound system of writing. One great value of this system is the small number of signs representing an idea. Greeks came after the Phoenicians. They adapted the system of the Phoenicians by transforming the sound signs as consonants and adding their vowel sounds, thus creating the alphabet. About 1000 BC, the Greeks were the first to improvise the left-to-right manner of writing. Then 6th century BC, the Romans adapted the Greek alphabet, spreading it throughout Europe. The word alphabet was derived from two Greek words, alpha and beta. From then on, this system of writing passed on from generation to generation and still exists up to the present. That's all about communication in science.